Dave Adventures with Wes and Jeff, and I'm in the state of Virginia, just about 75 miles west of our nation's capital here in Washington, D.C. at Shenandoah National Park. Shenandoah was our 27th national park inducted into the park system, and it lies 105 miles along this Skyline Drive that is on the crest of the Blue Ridge Mountains. So this is a very interesting park. It's on the eastern side of the United States, and it's nearly 200,000 acres, and it was established back in 1935. So stick with me today and I'll show you some of the things to see and do here at Shenandoah National Park. Shenandoah National Park has over 500 miles of hiking trails, and 101 miles of those hiking trails are along the Appalachian Trail here at the Blue Ridge Mountains. So the other thing that this park is really well known for is the concentration of black bear, as well as bobcats and the white-tailed deer. Here at Shenandoah National Park, there is over 75 overlooks that runs along the crest line of the Blue Ridge Mountains. And each of these overlooks are a different view of the Shenandoah Valley and the Piedmont area of Virginia. Some of them are just really super sonic pretty, and just to spend some time at each one and just check out the view is amazing. Sometimes you have to share it with some other park visitors, and then other times you have it all to yourself. These rock walls are really cool that have been put in here by the CCC back in the 30s when this became a park, and they're still standing today. Miles and miles of these rock walls all throughout the Skyline Drive. But the trees are turning colors, and it just really looks beautiful to take it all in. This is on the west side, and you can zoom in on some of the trees and you can see they're turning colors. Another probably week or so and this is going to be even more colorful, so really pretty. The other thing about this particular one, this has a really cool rock wall across the road from the overlook, and this rock wall, it goes straight up, probably about 3 to 4 stories. Dickey Ridge Visitor Center here at Shenandoah National Park, and it's on the north entrance. It's only about 5 miles in from the north entrance. This is the middle of October. We're in the middle of government shutdown, so they're not charging at the entrance stations for the daily fee, which is the entrance fee for $30. So that's kind of a bonus. I let mine expire actually, so I was gonna renew it here, but so now I just got a little bit more time. But this is Dickey Ridge, and there's a lot of information. There's rangers to answer your questions, as well as give you maps and information about trails and the different points of interest along the way. But the view here, the view out the back is over into the Blue Ridge Mountains, and it's really, really pretty. I'm at the trailhead for Lands Run Trail, which is the Lands Run Falls. So there's a little waterfall. It's 80 foot tall. I'm going to go down here and take a look at it. It's 1.3 miles round trip.
The timber rattlesnake and the copperhead are the only two venomous snakes found at Shenandoah National Park. Always keep a watchful eye out for these two venomous critters.
Coming up on the Lands Run Falls, the 80-foot fall that cascades through here and then has a drop. So the viewing area is kind of from the top. The Lands Run waterfall, and it's really pretty if you go past the waterfall and then go down to the far side, because then you'll get a view looking up. Otherwise you're at the top looking down and it's not as spectacular. So it's really a cool waterfall. I'm the only one here. There was some people earlier but they left, and it's just nice and peaceful back here in the Shenandoah National Park, just to take in this little waterfall. Really nice. And it does drop down quite a ways down to that stream down there. So you do have to watch your footing, because it has rained the night before here, and so it's a little muddy. The Kaiser Run trailhead, it's only 0.2, and the ranger said that this would be a pretty little hike just to go down just a little ways and take in the fall leaf colors. So I'm gonna check this out.
The idea to create Shenandoah National Park crystallized in the 1920s. People were living here in the Blue Ridge Mountains. There were families with homes, livelihoods, churches, and schools. In order to create Shenandoah National Parks, the Commonwealth of State of Virginia acquired the land via a process called eminent domain. Some families sold their land voluntarily, and others were displaced non-voluntarily. In all, 500 families were relocated to create this national park that was donated from the state of Virginia.
I'm on the Kaiser Run trailhead here, the trail, and the ranger was right. There's lots of color here. So I'm just doing this short little 0.2 of a mile along the old fire road here. So it's pretty colorful, and the color's really coming out on those fall foliage here. Interesting along the Kaiser Run hike here is I like to take in and see anything that's unique, maybe because of this time of year, but I found some interesting thing about some little acorns on the ground. So here is some acorns that they have fallen off the tree, and so those are important for birds like the woodpecker. They gather all those and they peck holes into the tree bark, and they tuck those in so that they have something to eat when it comes time for wintertime, the dead of winter, as well as squirrels. So they still have to pick some of these up, but you can see some of them have been cracked open and have been eaten already, but some of them are still here ready for a squirrel or a bird or something to come pick these up and utilize them. I'm here at the trailhead for Little Stony Man. It's 0.9 round trip. I'm gonna go up and see these epic views and check it out. The Little Stony Man Trail, and it's 0.9, and it goes up from the parking area right along Skyline, and it goes straight up pretty much, and then it goes along the ridge line that parallels the road, so I can see the road down below. So that's kind of interesting. Then it's going to loop back in and go towards the Shenandoah Valley side, and so I'm anxious to see the views because we got some epic weather right now. So this is gonna be fun. So I'm on a Little Stony Man, headed up the hill. Sometimes it's a lot of work to get up the hill to see these epic views, but the hard work pays off usually at the end, almost always. So this is Little Stony Man. It's 0.9, so it goes up quite a ways. I'll put at the bottom of the screen exactly what the elevation gain is, but I've been going up the whole time, which the good news is on the way back it'll be going down, and so I'll be able to rest a little bit, but try to squeeze in as much as I can at Shenandoah National Park. And this was my last one that I wanted to accomplish before I head back. So parking lot's super small, but it accommodates probably about 10 cars or so. So I was able to find a spot, and I've been up climbing this hill. Get tips from other hikers on the trail that have already completed it, and at this point the hikers that were coming down told me this: when you get here to the Attribution Trail, the viewpoint is ahead, just 180 yards. Definitely take that in. That is Little Stony Man. But this to this side goes up the Attribution Trail just a little bit further, and there's another outcropping. Do not miss, because it looks down on this one, and it's just a little bit further. So be sure and do that one to the left here once you hit the Attribution Trail sign.
The Shenandoah salamander is one of the rarest salamanders in North America. These unique bright orange striped salamanders can only be found on 3 mountaintops where moist conditions are just right here in the park.
You get to the top of the hill here, and it looks like this is Little Stony Man. Cool. Look at this outcropping and the view. Wow. Okay, that's something. Beautiful. And I'm the only one here. How cool is that? A guy just left actually, but he left it to me to enjoy. How cool is that? You can see the road down there below. Yeah. Skyline. Yeah. Through the park. There's a park visitor there. Cool. Just beautiful. Little Stony Man Trail. It is steep. It drops off like you wouldn't believe. If you look down there, it's like, ooh, that's quite a fall.
The 550 to 570 million year old rocks here reveal a rainbow of materials of different colors and textures. Assorted mineral deposits like copper drew people to the Stony Man area in search of these riches. This area was known for oxidized copper, The Miners Lode Copper Company operated a mine here on Stony Man back in the mid-1800s. George H. Powlock, the person who inspired this trail, was one of the principal owners of the mine. If you venture to the left of the Stony Man Overlook, you can walk along the very picturesque Passamaquoddy Trail.
I did what that guy said. Go to the left, go up to the Appalachian Trail, go up to the top. I'm like, I gotta do this. I don't have a lot of time, but I'm gonna do it. I wanna see the view from the top. And here it is. Oh yeah, look at that. And this goes out to the end, and it's a further place to fall. But that's the other one down below. You can see where I was, but this is really pretty. And this is above the little Stony Man is what I'm gonna call this one. But you can see the Skyline Road and the ridge of the Blue Ridge Mountains. So a little windy up here, really pretty. And this goes all the way around this ridge. And it's a steep drop off, I'm telling you. But it's absolutely beautiful. Look at that view. Yes. I'm above where Little Stony Man is and looking down on it from this higher peak. And if you can, continue on up the Appalachian Trail to get to this point. That's the lower Stony Man down there. And really from there as well. A little bit windier up here, but just absolutely beautiful views. Can't beat it. Make sure that you do, if you have the time and the effort, then come up to the higher viewpoint. You will not be disappointed. Stony Man Trailhead. It's 1.5 miles round trip, and it goes out to a rock outcropping that has epic views. So stick with me and I'll show you what to see and do on the Stony Man Trail. This particular trail is gonna take me out to some cliffs, and it's going to pass alluring geology, and in the winter months, amazing drapery like ice formations, but we're not going to get that today in October. George Powlock had the trail built in 1932 and so named it because he said it is like the main Indian word for abounding in pollock, so a kind of fish. So more or less after himself. Since this was his little trail, we're going to take a look and see what it's all about. Along the Stony Man Trail, the 1.5, the other sign said 1.6, but it can be muddy in spots, so watch your step, footing. If it had recently rained here, it did rain here during the week, so it's a little bit muddy in spots, but this should be an epic, nice little trail to go on. Get to this point in the trail where the Appalachian Trail meets. You have a choice to go to the right or straight ahead. If you go to the right, it makes a loop around to the two outcroppings. So I'm gonna opt to go straight up this way. We'll kick your butt going up to the top of this. It's a steady incline all the way up. You get to this point, there's kind of two outcroppings. I wanted to find both of them so I could see what they look like. Looks like I'm coming up on the first one, and it's off to the far left, and it's gonna be at the top of this hill. And so I ran into some people on the trail. They said, hey, go to the smaller one. There's not as many people, and you will have it probably to yourself. Sure enough, I do. Oh, so cool. I like it. Yeah. Look at that. Beautiful. It kind of drops off too. So, epic view from here. A little windy, but really nice. Really pretty. The trail, and this is the left side, this is the right side that makes that bottom loop. That's pretty cool, that little tunnel right through there. But they got a hitching post here because horses can use this trail as well. And this is the Stony Man Summit sign. So this is the other one, the main Stony Man outcropping. So I'm gonna go over there and take a look, see what that looks like. It's a beautiful day to hike. These colors for the fall, and it's nice and cool because we're up in elevation up here at the Stony Man Summit. We made it up to the top of Stony Man Summit, and so did all these other people. Oh, she liked it.
I did, it was fun.
So, yeah, I heard it was like gonna be busy. But I didn't think it was going to be this busy. It's a Wednesday, right? But I guess it doesn't make a difference. When it's a pretty viewpoint and people want to brave it, they're going to come the 1.6 miles round trip in order to get this kind of view. And it's epic, of course. It's a beautiful view. And you got this stone outcropping here. And it overlooks this beautiful Shenandoah Valley with the colors of the fall coming in nicely, but it's kind of steep, so there's no railings. They don't put railings here. I haven't seen a single railing on any of the epic hikes that I've done here at Shenandoah National Park. So watch your step, make sure you know where your footing is, because it is quite a little fall. If it's raining or if it's slick, don't attempt it. Out at the tip of Stony Man. Pretty cool. So, Stony Man. It does drop off there. We're kind of sitting along the edges, which is okay. As long as I get good frame. But this is still one more epic little view of what it looks like from at the top. A little windy out here. Looks like the birds are catching the wind and they're just riding it. Oh, looks like those are maybe ravens or a crow. I'm at the Dark Hollow Falls Trail. It's 1.4 miles round trip, so 0.75 and then 0.75 back up. It goes down this little area here, across some bridges, and then down a steep trail that goes down to the waterfall. So I'm going to take this little hike to go down to the waterfalls and then see what it's all about. Big Meadow Trailhead, and it goes across the big level meadow here that a lot of wildlife do appear here. So people go along this nice wide trail. You can take a dog, but you have to have them on a leash, and it's a great spot where you can view the wildlife here at this park. And that's the meadow. And it's a big wide open space. The Native Americans back in the day, they hunted for wildlife in this area. But then when the European settlers came in, they used this area for grazing. So it's a great big open space where wildlife congregate. I don't see any today, but usually deer, black bear, that kind of thing is in this area. But it's a nice level area to meander through the meadow. Shenandoah National Park, they have what they call waysides, and those waysides you can stop and get a hot meal, or you can get a snack, or even a souvenir. So they're called waysides. There's several throughout the park on the Skyline Drive. I'm at the Harry F. Byrd Senior Visitor Center. It's their main visitor center here at Shenandoah National Park. I'm gonna go inside, check it out, and get my book stamped, which I've gotten it stamped at all of the visitor centers here in Shenandoah National Park, all three of them. So I'm gonna go in and check out the historical things to learn about this park and share it with you. Heading into the Hairy Bird Visitor Center. And they have rangers here to answer questions for you. They have a park store. And then they have a neat little exhibit where you can learn about how the park was developed and the CCC, those guys that worked for the Civilian Conservation Corps that developed this park. Talks about back in the day when automobiles were first introduced. This is the little theater that they have where they show a film. And so this talks about Roosevelt and the CCC where they developed. Now, this park was homesteaded, so they had to purchase the land from the landowners. It took quite a while to do all of that. Once they purchased it from about 500 landowners, then they were able to secure it as a park. So it was, there's Roosevelt there doing the dedication. That's FDR. And these are the CCC workers that are helping put the rock walls and different things in. The landscape architects that designed the Skyline Drive and all those hand tools that they utilized in order to do the work of this 105-mile park. So these are, they did have to negotiate with those folks that had this land here in order to make this park, but they wanted to make it so that everybody, the whole public, could enjoy the nature here. So, but and it was back when the automobiles were just starting out, back in 1935, 39. So look how these overlooks people were all lined up at. So it opened in 1935. So very cool little visitor center. So, National Register of Historic Places. In 1997, it became one of those places for history because of its age and the unique style in which it was built. This is called the Big Meadow Lodge. Over to the far right, up to the far left, they have like a little gift shop. So, super cute. This is the Big Meadow Lodge. It was built in 1939, way back when it became a park in 1935. And the use of native stones as well as this chestnut wood was, now it's pretty much extinct, but it makes this building a national historic place because of the fact they use this paneling wood and those native stones on the fireplace, and now they're almost extinct. So folks that stay here or just want to hang out here can hang out by the fire or a rocking chair and just enjoy the scenery and the view out the window. They've got a little coffee shop in the corner. And then this is the hotel registration for the lodge and another little waiting area. And then they have a tap room actually. So little bar here. And then this is the dining room with the vaulted ceiling and lighting and good food. So It's all decked out for Halloween and the fall leaves. The Big Meadow Lodge, I'm gonna walk just over to the left of the lodge and then down the hill. It's called Blackrock. So it's only like a 10-minute walk. Just gonna go down and check it out and look at the view there. I'm at the Blackrock Trailhead. It's 0.4 of a mile, and it just goes down to a viewpoint where it's a 60-foot elevation gain. So you can check it out. On the Blackrock Trailhead, little squirrel looking for acorns, nuts, and this is some rocks along the trail. It goes kind of straight up this hill, just right above the lodge, the Big Meadow Lodge. So once you get up here, it's all these jagged rocks and little puddles of water. It rained last night, so we do have fog at a higher elevation, but so this is the view. You can see a little bit of the valley, but this is a really cool view. The Bearfence Trailhead, and this is a 1.1 mile round trip to the viewpoint, and it's a scramble. I'm going to show you on the sign here. So it's a scramble through these rocks here. So it's a 1.1 mile round trip, and it's a 305-foot elevation gain. This route eliminates the rock scramble from the hike, but there's two separate ones. There's a hike that's just 1 mile, and it's 311-foot elevation gain, and it goes up to the rock scramble, which I think I'm going to take. And then there's the 1.1 mile round trip, which is the easiest one. So just going to do this little loop and see what it's all about. Is a parking area across the street, but it fills up pretty quick. So, and then you go up these stairs to get up to the Bearfence. So, it's a little muddy, so watch your step. So, the Bearfence Rock Scramble hike is 1.4 round trip. And the Bearfence viewing point hike is 1.1. Rock Scramble hike, once you get to this marker here, this is the Appalachian Trail, and you'll want to continue. If you want to do the Rock Scramble, you go on up the hill from here. But if it's wet or icy, it's slightly damp today, but I'm gonna do it. And it's not safe if it's wet or icy. But you cross over, you come up the steps, you come to this point right here, and at the trail post, continue straight ahead on the Bearfence Loop Trail. After the Rock Scramble, turn right onto the Connector Trail, and then go right on the Appalachian North Trail. At the intersection, you turn left and return back down to the parking lot. So I'm gonna do this. It's the 1.4 round trip loop. So wish me luck. I'm gonna go up this hill. To get to this point in the trail, you have to navigate through these rocks. To navigate through these sharp, jagged rocks. So just find the right footing. You see how they're sharp, but it's an adventure. A little challenging, but fun to go through these rocks. There's no, there's a trail, but it's kind of obscure because of the rocks. But a really interesting hike. You get to this section of the trail. Look, somebody has their hammock there. There we are. How comfortable is that? Nice. What's your name? Maddie. Maddie? Yep. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. What a great, comfortable spot with a great view. She's a smart one. Clearly say that if you have a fear of heights, you should not go on this trail because it takes you up a really steep section. And I'm gonna give you a pan out view of these rocks, and it drops down really far from the edge. So, but you have these excellent views of Shenandoah National Park and all the color. So I'm gonna continue on to the top because that's what this guy does. I'm at the top of Bearfence Mountain, overlook the 360 degree view here at the top. Highly recommended. If you come to Shenandoah National Park, hike up to the top of here. It's somewhat challenging, but it's really rewarding at the end. Bearfence is a really cool hike. You gotta do it all the way to the very top. The 1.4 to the very top with the 360 degrees view, because it is one of those epic hikes. I love the epic hikes in the parks that challenge you just a little bit. Like you have to watch your footing or you might fall some distance. Or they have all these rock scramble where you have to really watch your footing. Love it. It's a little bit of a challenge, but it's totally worth it at the end. You say, hey, I did that. There's a buck. right in the road. Young buck. Hi there, mister. How you doing? Says winter's coming. Hi there. Blackrock Summit Trailhead, and it's a 1 mile loop. So it goes out to a rock scramble that overlooks the Shenandoah Valley. So I'm going to take a look at this. So it starts here. There's a small parking lot which you can park at right at the trailhead. And so this is Blackrock Trail. It's a 1 mile loop. A 775-foot elevation gain to a rocky talus slope overlooking the Shenandoah Valley. This hike winds along the portion of the Appalachian Trail, a 2,200-mile trail from Georgia up to Maine. Every year, thousands of people attempt to through hike the entire trail. So I'm going to take this little trail and see what it has to offer. As soon as you start this trail, it immediately comes into the Appalachian Trail. This is the signal for the Appalachian Trail. So pretty cool. But it goes right along here. Hiking along the trail, you get to that half-mile portion and it comes up on all of these rocks. Now these ones have moss on them all along here, but these ones are out exposed to the sun, so not as much moss, just at the base. And then it's just this open vastness of this rock, and this is a scramble up to the top. I want to try and get up to the top. I think that would be kind of a fun thing to do. But excellent views over the Shenandoah Valley here, and look at this. Some of the rocks can be slippery. Some of these rocks can be slippery in the early morning. This is about 9 o'clock in the morning, 9:45 actually, so it's a little bit slippery, so watch your step. But beautiful view of the valley there. And you just kind of have to watch your step across these rocks and make your way up to the top if you'd like. But this is the Blackrock Summit. This is what they call the summit. Very cool hike. And there's another patch right over there, look, see? Where some more exposed rocks on the hillside and some more off in the distance there. Yeah, look at that.
to the top of the summit, and it overlooks the whole Shenandoah Valley. And some of the rocks are kind of unstable and a little bit sharp on the edges, so you have to strategically place your feet exactly where you want the flat rock to be. So it's pretty cool to hike all the way up to the top of Blackrock Summit and get this excellent view. Definitely recommend this one. If you enjoyed your adventure with me today here at Shenandoah National Park, hit the like button down below as well as the subscribe button for future videos. Whatever you're doing today, get out to the great outdoors and do something that makes you smile.